The one secret that changed the game for me in terms of balancing fitness and study was planning. If you don't know where to start, planning can seem like a mountain that you're never going to be able to climb, especially if you're studying a really intense degree. I know exactly how you feel. As a fresher, I had no clue how to plan. My timetable was kind of all over the place. I hadn't really got to grips with being at uni yet, and I just found it really hard. But now I'm going into my third year studying mechanical engineering at Durham University. And I've managed to figure out a way of planning that works for me in a really visual way so that I can make the most effective use of my time living the fitness lifestyle, but also prioritizing my studies. So in this video, I'm going to take you step by step through the way that I plan my schedule. But of course, this will be different depending on what course you're studying, what your fitness goals are, because everyone's life's different and your commitments are going to be different to mine. But if I hadn't come up with a method to plan like this, then I wouldn't get anything done. And it would be carnage, as my first year self will agree. But enough hanging around, let's just get into it. We'll be planning your schedule for the first month of uni, so you're going to want your timetable up and also have a basic calendar template downloaded. You can find pretty decent ones on Google Images. I'm using the Procreate app to write on the calendar, but you can also use OneNote, which is a free Microsoft application that you probably already have access to through your uni account. Okay, so to start off, you want to find out what your main commitments are. So these are the ones that you can't move. They're non-negotiable. You've got to be there. This is things like tutorials, lectures. Technically, you don't have to be in lectures because they're usually all recorded, so you have them online anyway. I like to be there because I find that I can absorb the information better and then I can go over the information later. It just all kind of sticks better for me. Those are your main commitments. So once you've got those down, we're going to go about fitting our training into that schedule. Okay, so on our timetable, we're going to go into Monday and I have lectures 9 till 10, 12 till 1, 1 till 2, 2 till 3 and 4 till 5. So it's a pretty full on day. But what I'm going to do is write down the time of the lecture, what the lecture actually is, and I'm just going to do that for each of the lectures that day, and I'm going to continue this for the other commitments that are on my timetable for the rest of the week. I don't know what it's like at other universities, but on my timetable I sometimes have classes that I am not actually signed up for. So for example, I've got a language class here. I'm not doing any languages except English, but that's what my course is taught in. But yeah, just make sure that you're writing down the right stuff that you've actually signed up for in your timetable. So Monday, we have a lecture 9 till 10. So on the left hand side I'm going to write the time frame, and then right next to that I'm going to put the subject. You'll probably want to have some shorthands for the titles of your modules because they're often quite long and you're not going to fit that in this calendar. For example, I've got Solid Mechanics 3 as my module title, but I'm just writing solids. If you're a fresher, it would be good to put the room location on this timetable as well. I know my way around quite a bit better now, so I'm not going to be putting the rooms on my schedule. Then we've got control and signal processing. I'm going to abbreviate this to CNS. And you just keep doing the same for all of your commitments. So I'm going to get that done because chances are you're not doing the same subject as me and you're just going to find this really boring. So time-lapse time. The best part of making a digital schedule is being able to copy and paste your weekly commitments. This just saves so much time, and the act of initially writing out my schedule helps me to remember it better. Okay, so now we've got all of our main commitments down. We're going to move into scheduling our training around this schedule. Finding the right training schedule is all about fitting it to your goals. Right now, my main goal is focusing on leg training. So I'm going to be training legs 3 times a week, and I also want to get in some upper body sessions as well. It's really helpful knowing how to be strategic about planning your training around your studies. So Mondays are my busiest day, and that just makes the most sense to be a rest day because I'm going to be in lectures all day, and chances are I'm not going to have much energy for the gym that day. Because I'm prioritizing my leg training, ideally I want to have that come after rest day so that I have the most energy for that session. So that means Tuesday definitely has to be legs. I'm just going to put what I'm training each day at the top of the calendar for now, and then I can schedule in the actual times that I'm going to go later. Since Saturday and Sunday have no academic commitments, I'm definitely going to be training on those days. In terms of the rest of the week, I've made the most of the time either before, after, or in between lectures. I always find that when I go for a gym session in between lectures, it helps me focus so much better in the ones later in the day. Just because if I've been in lectures all morning, I'm not going to be studying most effectively straight after having sat through so many. So going for a gym session in the break in between kind of helps me to reset a bit, and then by the time I have to sit in another lecture, I'm fresh and ready to go. You'll also notice that I have 6 days in a row of training here. This might not be for you. I found that this is sustainable for me, and I just love training, so I'm excited to train 6 days a week. But you might find that you need to add in more rest days. This also might depend on how busy your course is. But for me, if I feel like I need another rest day, I'll take it. So it'll probably make most sense for my optional rest day to be on Thursday or Friday, because that's in the middle of the week, and it will just give me that extra bit of recovery that I need. But in general, if you feel like you need a rest day, take it. Your body will thank you for it, and you'll come back so much better in the next session. Now we're going to have another look at our fixed commitments and see where we can fit in our training around that. I like to go to the gym around times where I have lectures anyway, because the gym's nearby. That means if I have a longer gap between lectures, that is ideal for me to use that time. Tuesday, I have a pretty decent gap from 11 till 2, so I can fit in my leg day there. Wednesday is pretty straightforward because I don't have anything after 1 o'clock. So as soon as my lecture finishes, I can just go and grab some lunch and then head to the gym, and then just copy those for the rest of the schedule. So on Saturdays, I usually do my shopping in the morning and then do batch cooking for the week. I do have to do a small top-up shop for things like yogurt during the week, but I can just do that on the way home for lectures, which is fine. Sundays, sometimes I'm helping out with cooking for church in the evenings, so that means I'll just go to the evening service afterwards, so I can schedule that in as well, which is always handy. I went to the evening services most weeks last year, so I'll probably just do the same again, because I found that I was able to get more work done and stuff in the morning, rather than going to church in the morning and then just hanging out all day, which is amazing and I love it. But because my degree is so intense and content heavy, I felt that I needed to get some work done at the weekend, because I didn't really do much on Saturdays because I was getting ready for the rest of the week. Okay, so we've got those in. I'm just going to go back and tidy up my training split at the top of the calendar. I find that I'm much more likely to stick to my schedule when I've actually got it somewhere that I can see it regularly and know what's going on. So I'm going to print it out. Right, so now you've got your schedule, I want you to stick it somewhere where you can see it. Whether that's on the wall, on your bedroom door, on the ceiling above your bed. You want to have it somewhere that you're going to be regularly and you'll be reminded of what you're meant to be doing when. I like having this notes section at the side of the calendar because when I'm scheduling in events or plans with friends, that means I can pencil in the event on the actual day and then write down like where it is or other details about it in the notes. So I'm going to put it on my wall when I get to uni. But for now, so to recap, if you want to maximize your gains by scheduling your training to make the most effective use of your time, follow these 5 steps. 1. Write down your fixed commitments like classes or lectures. 2. Schedule your busiest days as rest days. 3. Know your goals and decide what aspect of training you want to prioritize. 4. Schedule your most intense workouts straight after a rest day. 5. Put your schedule somewhere you can see it regularly so you're more likely to stick to it. So I'll put links in the description for everything that I use for scheduling. If you found any value in this video at all, I want you to hit subscribe because I've got so much more content on the way that will help you become the best version of yourself as you balance fitness and study. And if you're just starting out on your fitness journey and you want to know the secrets that helped me make a crazy 1-year transformation when I started uni, then I think you'll find this video really useful. So I'll see you there.